Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back in another video, and today I'm going to be doing my RWBY Volume 5, Episode 7, Chapter 7 review. Very simple episode, but definitely had a lot of, interesting stuff to go along with it. The episode basically starts out with Yang, Ruby, Weiss, Nora, Ren, and John, basically, catching up with one another. They all have dinner together. They're eating dinner. They're just having a good time, catching up, on, what was going on. They talk about, Raven a little bit and what happened with her, and what they had to go through with her, at the table, and Weiss gets this whole thing, with Nora, like, oh, so you did miss us, and Weiss is just, tries to chop it off, being the tough girl that she is. They're eating their dinner and stuff like this. Ren, talks about the journeys and stuff like that, stuff that they would do in the school that they don't do now, or at Beacon Academy that they wouldn't do now, and stuff like that. So they're trying to, kind of interact and ease the tension a bit. Eventually, Yang, talking about her, mechanical arm and stuff, RWBY kind of admiring it a little bit there. Nora eventually, once they're done with dinner, eventually challenges Yang to an arm wrestling match to see if that arm is still in good shape from her original arm. And basically they're neck and neck. RWBY's trying to get Weiss to cheer because she's not cheering at all. They're all cheering each other on, and eventually Yang actually lets go of the arm there, and Nora just goes right to the wall, and Nora was like, dude, I win, and they just kind of all were silent at this point. At this point, Osbin comes into the frame with Crow, and eventually they go into the next room, and they're on the couch talking, and they're talking about things that happen. Osmond talks. So basically, Raven told you guys what happened. Nora actually doesn't believe that they can transform into transform the animals. This was the big secret, that not only Raven can transform into a Raven, but Crow can transform into a Crow. Not to coincidentally mistake this with their names, since Crow is technically spelled with a Q. But then again, the RWBY verse has blatantly changed the English language with rewritten names of pronunciations. So it's not a big shock at this point anyways. So basically, Osmond and Crow, mostly Osmond, basically just explains that, that Raven and Crow were chosen, or they had a choice and they chose, and then because of this they were given powers, which was to be able to transform to Ravens and Crows, and basically Nora doesn't believe this, but Weiss and Yang vouch for it, because they seen Raven transform into a Raven physically themselves. So that happened. So basically, Yang, basically, Osmond just goes through the whole stories, about the maidens, how he gave the powers to the four maidens, and lost all or not all his power, most of his power, but he can still reincarnate himself into people. Basically, Yu-Gi-Oh! 101. I still am trying to understand why guys can't become maidens and it's only girls, since a guy is the one who orchestrated this. I don't understand the concept of this. There's like a law rule, I guess, for this. Because I believe in season 3, he did mention this, but in season 3, Osmond had mentioned that, because the last person that the maiden sees out of fear, when she dies, that person gets the maiden powers. That's why Cinder got the fall maiden powers. That's why they wanted to put the powers in. That's why they wanted to put the fall maiden powers into Pura, which that failed. But that's why they were going to do it. So Cinder, got those powers because of that. But I'm curious, because if a guy did that, it wouldn't matter, because it would just override to the next person, I guess. But I just don't understand the concept of, why that, has to be a rule. So, yeah, basically what happens then after that, him going through this whole thing about the, the powers and stuff like this, he basically says, I'll give you guys the choice, if you don't want to do this, you do not have to, even though, well, the thing with Crow and Raven is he also mentioned that those two were given those powers because they chose to, guard the maidens or whatever, but obviously Raven relieved her duties. Osmond better think twice before doing that again. Anyways, he gives them a choice. Yang gets up and basically says, whatever my sister wants to do, I am all for. So she's going to stick by with what her sister wants, and her sister wants to do this. So, yeah. But she then goes on to say, but no more secrets. No more hiding anything. No more half-troops. Basically tell us the whole truth, all the time now, for now on. So Yang's just straightforward on this. And he's like, okay. And basically then after that, he basically says, we will start tomorrow because, you guys need catching up to do and you need some rest. After which, he basically then transforms back into Oscar, and Oscar's all scared and stuff like that, and they kind of laugh after that, Also, Nora did make a funny joke about how Crow is a crow, transforms into a crow, and Raven transforms into a raven, and then he's like, they're birds! I thought that was actually kind of funny. Funny, even though it was obvious, but it was still funny the way Nora said it. I thought it was a really funny joke at that point. So yeah, really good. Then at the end of the episode, we see the guy who got punched or lost his front tooth by Yang in the beginning of Volume 5 or Season 5, and he's like, you see the return of Mercury and Emerald, and, they ask to see Raven, and he's like, look, I've had a rough day, or a rough week, so I'm just going to take it out on you guys, or whatever. He's got, his weapon all ready and stuff like that, and then you see Cinder come into the frame, and you're like, oh, look, Cinder, this guy's not going to, cooperate with us, or whatever. Then you see the two other people come out, that works for Salem, and you know, the last thing you really see is Emerald, you know, getting her weapons ready to basically fight him. And so that's how that episode ends. We could see the continuation of this episode next week, but we're probably going to see something involving Blake and Sun next week, since we haven't seen anything from the White Fang in a while, or Adam and stuff. Like, we haven't seen that story yet in a couple weeks, so we're probably going to see something from them. Or we're going to see the continuation of this, but knowing Rooster Teeth's track record, they're probably going to give this version of the story off for you know, the White Fang storyline right now. But I thought this was an overall good episode. It kind of evolved the characters back together, and you know, set the stage for what's going to happen next. Hopefully Neos makes an appearance very soon. She was confirmed for Volume 5 at some point. We have yet to see her yet, but we will be seeing her at some point. Hopefully it's just not a one-off appearance, and she actually has something significant to the story. She did not appear with Cinder, so there is the possibility that Neos is on her own. There are a lot of theories about Neos right now and where she is and what she is doing currently. She is alive, but we don't know where she is. We don't know if she's going to go against Salem or if she's going to turn good. There's a possibility that she might turn good at this point, but we don't know. You know, because, you know, Roman was, you know, killed by a Grimm, who, by the way, the Grimms were controlled by Salem. No, they're still controlled by Salem. The Grimms are all controlled by Salem, and they killed, you know, her only real, like I don't know, partner in crime or whatever. I guess you want to call it. So she might want to get revenge. But I do think in the coming weeks we are going to see like a full-on battle between Raven, because I don't think she's giving up the Spring Maiden. So we're going to see a huge confrontation from her and Salem's group, and eventually Yang's group is going to, you know, get involved at some point, I think, you know, because they want to get the Spring Maiden. So we're going to see a huge conflict very soon between those guys, which also leads me to believe that Blake will not be reuniting with everyone else in this volume. Like I've said before, Blake's got their own issues with the White Fang right now, and I can't see them meeting up in the next 5 episodes because, you know, Adam plans to attack the family, Blake's family, or kill Blake's family, I should say. Which that's not going to sit well. And then also Sun's there. You know, you got Sun there as well to help out. So that's what I think is going to happen with their battle. And then those, you know, they got their battle coming up now as well. So that's where I think that's going to be at. We'll see. This episode might possibly damage my theory on Cinder turning good, because for the first time in a long time, we've actually seen Cinder walking on her 2 feet by herself and actually look intimidating for once. She actually looked like she was in charge, which is something we haven't seen since she lost her eye and, you know, got basically screwed by RWBY with the silver eyes at the end of Volume 3. So we'll see where that goes. Overall, it's a good episode, like I said. Can't wait to see what happens next. But that's really about it. Straightforward. And let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. If you like this video, please give me one of those thumbs up likes. It really helps. And that's about it, guys. Let me know what you guys think's coming up next. I'll have the playlist for all my anime review things, as well as the previous review episode for RWBY. And that's about it. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace.